everybody, and welcome to another interview. My name is Neil Gordon, and I am a member of the IMN Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and it's my pleasure and my honor today to interview Michal. Now, Michal is one of our members of the IMN Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and please, Michal, introduce yourself and tell our audience a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is, as Neil just said, Michal van Belle-Stup. Thank you very much, Neil, for having me here. It's great knowing you and great being part of the IMN Amsterdam. So I'm living in the Netherlands. I'm living in a beautiful place called Leiden, which is the city in between the big cities of the Netherlands. Originally, I'm from Israel. I arrived to do my master degree 17 years ago in Belgium, where I met my Dutch husband and I came to live here. It was never the plan, but I'm very glad I arrived here. I think it's a great experience and it was a great step. Apart from my lovely husband, I have two children. I have a son who is 11 and a girl who is 9. And I love to travel. So that's also part of living here and living in Belgium. And I was also working for some time in Turkey and I was backpacking. I think this is something that I like very much. I enjoy knowing new places, knowing new people, learn to know different cultures. And yeah, that's my fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So, yeah, that's of course, very personal stuff about you. And I really appreciate you sharing that in such a warm way. What actually do you do? Tell us a little bit about what you do for a living and what.
Okay. I am an architect. I did my master actually in restoration of old buildings and cities, but what I'm really doing, I'm helping people in the whole process from buying a house through the planning of the house, asking for permits and managing the renovation process. As I mentioned before, I love working and getting to know people. And that's why I'm working a lot with expats who has they do need a bit of extra help with understanding the processes here. And that's where I come with my strength, with my experience. In my professional experience, I was a partner also in a company for real estate investors, which means that we had the whole concept of money in, money out. The investor just gave us the money, we did all the rest. So we were finding the real estate, the property, I would do the planning, asking for the permits. We would make sure that all the renovation goes according to the plans and according to budget and time. And then we would rent it or sell it out, depends on the strategy that was chosen for this investment. With that, next to working in different offices, I just built a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience in everything that has to do with houses. And what I do the most, what I like the most to do is to make people feeling at home. I think that's the most important thing. I think it's also sometimes a border for people to go to where they need to be for their development or for the opportunities they have. And I think with helping them finding their home, and that's why for expats more, I can help them to be where they need to be and to have the best energy. And yeah, because after all, home is where you start, right?
Absolutely. Home is where you start. And I love that feeling that I get from you when you say that it's really your passion to kind of help people to feel at home. It kind of gets me there, a lovely warm feeling. So how do you actually help people to get this feeling of, being at home? How do you actually professionally help them?
So I want to start with my story and with how I got to help mostly expats. So I think that the real start is just with me, myself. And as I mentioned before, I'm married to a Dutch guy and still coming to buy a house in the Netherlands. And with my background, professional background, still I found it very challenging to understand the process of buying a house, to avoid mistakes that otherwise, the thing is, And that's why also I like very much traveling. I think it's very healthy for everyone to try and live in different places, or just different place ones. I think it's really open your mind a lot. It teaches you that things can be different. It just, you start to be more patient for other people, or just understand that sometimes it's really just related to culture or what they assume or out of their culture and background. And the same is with houses. So I saw the difficulties I had for myself, and because I'm living in such a place that has a lot of expats around, so I didn't feel alone in this sense, just to understand how the market works here, how this Dutch law, how the process is working. I was really missing a bit of guidance.
Right.
And then living around all these expats and talking to them, see their needs, I decided that that's where I need to help. Because I just really understand what they don't really know to ask. That's the question. That's the difficulty. A lot of people coming with their background and how it works in their own country, whatever it is, buying the house, renovating the house, rules, and then they don't even know how to approach it. They don't know how to ask, what to ask.
Right. So, and I guess it's a tricky process. Buying a house in any country, but I guess being an expert in the Netherlands, you might know some of the tips that you would give people. Do you have any examples of some tips you've given people in the past?
Definitely. And that's also, it's an example that can show how our background can stand in the way for our succeeding in finding a home. So for example, I had a couple, and they actually, unfortunately, called me after they already bought the house. But it's a couple that came, they were a mixed couple from Canada and from Britain. They bought a house in Leiden, and they came with their expectation. When you buy a house in England, it appears that you get the whole house as you saw him in the viewing. So it means that you really get everything in it, including lamps, including curtains, just as it was. This is not the case in the Netherlands. And in their case, they even got in a very extreme situation where everything was taken out of the house. But when you buy a house in the Netherlands, you actually can only count on getting the walls around you. And the rest needs to be written in the contract, and they were not aware of it. So when they arrived to the house, and in their mind, they thought that the house would be as they saw it. So they thought that they will be able to move there the next week, kind of just come with your suitcase moving. And the situation was very far from that. So in their case, the floors were taken out, which is allowed in the Netherlands. All the lamps were taken away, switches, the sockets, everything, only wires came out of the walls. And of course, not mentioning the curtains and the rest of the stuff. So when they just arrived there and they were facing suddenly kind of renovation that they needed to make, they had to make before being able to move there.
Wow.
And they just were not aware that they need to check this kind of thing because they're so used to it working differently in their own country. And this is exactly the point. It's exactly what I would like to help people to avoid. So of course we would have some mistakes in the way, but in your own country, you always have your family, your friends, you have someone who experienced the process, someone who can go with you and show you the process or give their tips. But when you come into a different country, you're missing this support environment. And that's what I do. I want to feel like I'm their family and friends. I'm their objective professional with my background. To help them to make the process as smooth as possible, as clear as possible, the things that I saw that I was missing in my experience when I bought a house here.
Nice. That's really nice. It's a tragedy. It's tragic that sometimes things like that happen. But yeah, I guess having you there to help them through this minefield of buying a house is going to stop people from falling into those traps that they're not aware of. And that's really cool. But
that's true. But it's not staying only in buying the house. Then I'm also helping in the planning of the house with the permits, all the next steps. And in each one of them, it is working here different than in other countries.
Right.
Different materials, different rules, different climate. And those are the things that are very handy if someone can. It can save a lot of time, money, and not nice surprises if you have a bit of help on the way, I think.
Good. Oh, that's really good. It's really good having somebody like yourself. Even somebody also, you have also another advantage in that you have your architectural skills in the renovation side of things as well, so you can really help out with ideas and things like that. But typically, who do you help? Who, you know, who typically comes to you for help when they're moving to the Netherlands?
Well, I have different kind of clients of people I'm helping, but typically it's people who comes to the Netherlands for their work. So they may come from different nationalities. I have experienced it more than, I was working already with more, I counted last time, I think 12 or 13 nationalities, different nationalities. But you see that they all facing a bit the same thing. So it's normally educated people coming in and getting a contract for 3-5 years. They do understand the benefit of buying your own house next to renting a house, especially when you're coming for a bit longer time and considering the prices of the rent here and how much you pay for your, when you buy a house, financially it's better. But maybe more important for me, when you're buying your own house, you can also make it your own home easily. And again, that's the point, that you can feel at home wherever, and also here. And that's a big advantage of that. So those people will normally be, well, young families with young children who have a lot of education background, so it's very smart people. They have a bit of the means that they can buy a house, and they need help. They don't understand. They just need the guidance, the friend and the family they don't have at home.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, having that friend and that family there to kind of get them in the situation where they can feel at home, even in the Netherlands, I think is a very special skill set to have.
Yeah.
But how do these people get a hold of you? You know, our audience is far and wide and international. Probably there is somebody in Australia looking to come to the Netherlands. So how would they get a hold of you and get the information?
Yeah, everyone is very welcome to call me. I think we will leave at the end of this video my phone number, but I can also mention it here. By the way, I would like to say that it's very important, maybe even better, to call me before you're coming to the Netherlands. I think then we can already prepare you, or prepare the people for the moving in a better way. So there's not a problem in any way, and especially with the Corona time. You know, we can always have an advisory talk on Zoom or anyway online. So I don't let this hold you. And sometimes, again, because I want you to be in the right place, I want you to be able to live in the Netherlands if that's what you need to do for your future. So maybe some questions, some help from my side can move away the barriers and let you feel at home much faster and much easier. So then you're very welcome to call me. So my phone call, as you're calling from out of the Netherlands, it's +31 and then 651 465 425. And I will leave also the telephone at the end. If you're calling from the Netherlands, it's 0651 465 425. You're also very welcome to watch my site, my internet site, what you could find, and I think that's always the best way to get a feeling about what I can do, as a session with photos of things that before and after pictures. I think that can help very much see what I can do. It has to do and with real estate and with housing of people. And you're always welcome to write me in my email, and that is info@homestyleme.nl. That's also the name of my site. It's home in English, so home style me, it's one word or without any separation between them, .nl. And of course on LinkedIn page. And I would be very glad if it's possible to leave all the information at the end of this film.
Okay, thank you very much. Michal, it's been an honor. Michal, It's been an honor and a pleasure doing this interview with you. I really, if I am thinking of moving to the Netherlands, I would definitely look you up and seek out your advice. It feels to me like just having somebody there who can help me to find a home, to help me, advise me on the best things to do and how to make it my own home, make me feel at home, you would be the one that I would call. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
taking this time.
Thank you very much.